Our next speaker is Bobi Wine. He is a Ugandan pop star, activist, and political leader. He heads the National Unity Platform, which is the country's largest opposition party, and he was elected to parliament in 2017. As a singer, Bobi Wine's music has focused on social justice issues. He's been blocked from performing, however. Since 2018, his music considered a threat to the political establishment. He received massive support across the country and then started the People Power movement in 2017 to encourage young Ugandans to get involved in politics. Since then, he's been arrested, tortured, subjected to various other forms of abuse and harassment. His supporters and friends have been targeted by the government, with some killed and others abducted and tortured. Bobi Wine was a presidential candidate in Uganda's most recent election, which has been described as the most violent and least fair in the country's history. He was placed under house arrest, denied access to food or water. Now, I see that on social media there's tremendous excitement that you're here at the United Nations and that your followers refer to you as Mr. President. You have the floor.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very honored and privileged to be here, not just for myself, but to highlight the plight of the people of Uganda and many people in the world that face the same that we are facing in Uganda. My name, like you said, is Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, although I'm more popularly known by my stage name as an artist, Bobi Wine. I'm a musician, an activist, and also political leader. And yes, I challenged General Museveni in the 2021 election, which turned out to be the most violent election, not just in the history of Uganda, but in all elections that I've seen, because I had to campaign with a bulletproof vest and a ballistic helmet. I survived 3 assassination attempts in 3 weeks by the police and military. On the campaign trail, my entire campaign team was arrested and incarcerated without charge. Many were tortured, and many are actually still in detention. On November 18th, 2020, I was arrested, and when people protested, the military went on rampage and shot and killed hundreds of protesters, although the regime in Uganda only acknowledged 54. Thousands of our supporters were abducted by unmarked military trucks. Many of them showed up dead on the roadside and in the woods. Many of them returned with severe torture marks and horrifying stories. Women were raped, men were castrated, and others, terrible things happened to them. Many are still missing up to today. And like I said, many are dead. Many are detained without charge up to today. This did not just happen and stopped in the campaign season. It is still going on as we speak right now. Many political prisoners are held without charge, and this includes 2 members of parliament from my party and a young mother who was taken away and left her breastfeeding baby behind. I could go on and on and on, but it's important for me to highlight that as we speak right now, the mineral-rich region of Karamoja is facing bombardment. Hundreds of extrajudicial killings are ongoing. Houses are being burnt and women are being raped. All that is because that region supported us overwhelmingly and is facing the wrath of the military, which is commanded by the son of General Museveni. I could go on and on and on about the plight of the people of Uganda, but now that I'm here, I want to use this opportunity to request the world for attention. Every time we speak, because we cannot find justice in Uganda by local methods, we tend to highlight our plight to the international community. Although when we do that, General Museveni brands us as agents of the West and agents of colonialism. But I request the world for attention. If we get just a fraction of the attention that other regions get, we believe that would be a healing process for us, ladies and gentlemen. Just like Putin is doing in Ukraine, just like Putin has been tolerated by the international community, General Museveni has been tolerated for far too long. And the detriment of democracy and human rights is the tolerance of the world's democracies for dictators. Just like Putin had to start a war to win attention and ratings in his country. Just last month, Uganda faced a verdict from the International Court of Justice, having raided the Democratic Republic of Congo and plundering and murdering and raping women there. Now the taxpayer of Uganda has to pay more than $200 million to settle that which was caused by General Museveni. Uganda depends largely on international aid, and it's sad that the international community continues to have cooperation and to shake General Museveni's blood-stained hand. We have constantly called for sanctions. We've called for the same standard of human rights in Uganda. We have requested the international community to hold Uganda accountable and to put conditions of human rights, of the respect for human rights and democracy and the rule of law as preconditions for cooperation. And again, we've called for sanctions for General Museveni. And we've said that when Idi Amin did what Museveni is doing in Uganda, he was sanctioned. When Charles Taylor did to the people of Liberia what Museveni is doing right now in Uganda, he was sanctioned. When Robert Mugabe did to the people of Zimbabwe what Museveni is doing to the people of Uganda, he was sanctioned. When Saddam Hussein and many other dictators did what General Museveni is doing in Uganda, they were sanctioned. Why then is General Museveni not being sanctioned? So we are here to challenge the international community to hold General Museveni on the same standard of human rights, of democracy, and the rule of law in Uganda. Dear international community, if you cannot help us, please stop sponsoring our oppression. Please stop being the paymasters of our oppressor. If that stops, then that will be the beginning of the liberation of the people of Uganda. I thank you.
Thank you very much.